Hello and welcome to another Digital.ai continuous testing demo. Today we're going to look at the Test Manager. First, I'm going to open up the Mobile Studio, activate the automation option, and then open the test editor. Everything is open and I've already built a sample test inside of the test editor. The next thing I would like to do is to save this test to our test repository, which we call the Test Manager. To start the process, I will click on Save. Then I need to set a name for my workspace and associate it to an app. I will call it Arabank as I'm using the Arabank application. So now that the name is set and the corresponding application has been selected, I can click on Create. Now the workspace has been created, so I need to choose a name for my test. Since the test we created logs into the application, I will name it Login Test. Then I will click Save again to save it to the Arabank workspace. In order to see my test, I will click on the Test Manager here, and you can see that the test is here. So let's talk about workspaces. You can see all of your workspaces here in the top left, and when I click it, we can see the Arabank app under the Android OS. If I create tests in iOS, I would also see iOS-related workspaces as part of this list. It is important to note that when you're working in Android, you cannot access iOS workspaces and vice versa. The next step is to create a new workspace. This can be done by anyone. I simply need to name it and add an associated application. It is important to note that the only person who can delete a workspace is the project admin themselves. Now let's take a look at the tests. You can see the name and the executor. The current test was created using the Grid project. I can also create tests with OSS projects. It's important to note that if I'm using the Grid project, I cannot open an OSS test and vice versa. You can also see the dates for when the test was created and when it was last modified. Tests can also be managed by creating a new directory. Once my first user flow folder has been created, I can move my test into that collection. I can create different folders and move the tests around to better organize them as needed. This is the Test Manager and the first user flow. I have one more thing to show you, and for that I will need to delete the workspace I just created to show you another way of creating a workspace. I am back in the Mobile Studio, and a second way to open a workspace for the first time is to simply click on the Test Manager, and when the window opens, click on Create Workspace. When the dialog box opens, I need to enter a name and then choose the associated app. Then we click on Create, and a workspace has been created. That was our overview of the Test Manager. Thank you for watching and have a great day.